While the Lisbon Treaty is, of course, considered to be a replacement for the EU Constitution, it has now gone into effect after a long and difficult ratification process. We talked to an expert in European affairs about what the treaty will bring to the continent and how it will be influenced by the agreement.
Shada Islam of the European Policy Center has been studying the EU's integration and foreign policy for many years. Some people question whether the Lisbon Treaty will turn the European Union into a superstate. Shada does not think so.
But superstate status, I think, does not belong to the EU, not at any time in the future, because the EU is not a state. The EU is a grouping of 27 member states that, despite the Lisbon Treaty, will keep their sovereignty and will keep especially the prerogatives in the foreign policy field. What they will try and do with the Lisbon Treaty is to try and coordinate and have a common foreign policy.
Under the treaty, the EU's Court of Justice has more power, and the seats in the EU Parliament will increase from 736 to 751. Shada says the Lisbon Treaty demonstrates Europe's desire to overhaul its institutions.
The whole idea behind the Lisbon Treaty is to make the EU more modern, more efficient, to streamline decision-making, and to give the EU a more powerful role on the global stage.
Herman Van Rompuy has been elected as the EU's first permanent president. Many see his role as being more like that of a chairman in a large organization. Shada agrees.
I think he's a consensus builder, and I think that would be a very essential task because as you know, these are 27 presidents and prime ministers, and they come from very different national cultures, very different backgrounds, and there are often very, very divergent views. And the idea is that he would try and bring these views together and create common ground. But I don't think that he will actually be taking decisions or demanding or making breakthrough decisions.
The voice of the European Union has become increasingly important on the world stage. Its interaction with key partners like the US, Russia, China, and India is also being watched closely. Will the Lisbon Treaty bring change to the EU's dealings with these countries?
What will change is that for the first time ever, the European Union will have its own foreign diplomatic service, this External Action Service, and it will be composed of people from the Commission, from Member States, from the EU Council of Ministers, and it will be a coherent, we hope.
Europe's news media called the day the Lisbon Treaty was ratified a historic day. The Lisbon Treaty is a crucial step by the EU toward its integration, showcasing its quest for more global influence. Mike Patterson, CCTV.